Educators search for high-quality research for many reasons. One reason is to find evidence-based programs and interventions to improve student outcomes as described by the Every Student Succeeds Act, or ESSA. ESSA is a 2015 federal law that includes guidance on identifying evidence-based activities, strategies, and interventions to improve educational outcomes. The What Works Clearinghouse, or WWC, can be a valuable tool for finding evidence-based practices and guidance to implement those practices. The WWC is an investment of the Institute of Education Sciences of the U.S. Department of Education. Using the WWC's tools and resources, the Oklahoma State Department of Education, or OSDE, developed an Evidence-Based Intervention, or EBI, documentation form to help districts identify and select interventions that fulfill ESSA requirements.
The OSDE felt the need to develop an EBI documentation form when we realized that our subgrant districts were looking at the What Works Clearinghouse and they were choosing things, but they really weren't understanding those connections back to their situation that they were trying to fix, the intervention that they were trying to do. And so we created the form so that they could have more of a process as a link from what they wanted to do to the What Works Clearinghouse, and then back to what does What Works say in terms of how you implement that and how you make that a best practice in your school. The EBI documentation form is important for related tasks because it goes beyond them just giving us a link to the What Works Clearinghouse or just going on the What Works Clearinghouse and saying, well, that's what they're suggesting, so that's what I should do. So our EBI form really takes them through the process of what data brought you to the conclusion that you need this intervention, and then what interventions did you actually explore at the What Works Clearinghouse, and how will those be implemented in your school. So it takes them way past just, I found this practice that I want to do, or I found this particular product that I want to purchase, and it really helps them with the implementation piece.
The Mississippi Department of Education used the WWC to inform and develop the resource Supporting Schools, a framework for effective practices sharing what works. This document provides schools and local education agencies with a framework for navigating school improvement, including resources developed by the WWC that highlight existing evidence-based programs and practices.
Sharing What Works connects to the What Works Clearinghouse because it serves as a tool that our schools can use to get the resources that are necessary for identifying and selecting evidence-based interventions.
The Mississippi Department of Education also uses the WWC as a tool to inform and increase evidence use.
The department uses What Works Clearinghouse to inform evidence use through our process for monitoring applications or monitoring implementation of interventions. And so when schools often submit their applications, they're going to cite what their source was. And many of our schools cite the What Works Clearinghouse as a source. So when we are reviewing their implementation, we are able to go back and vet whether they have implemented with fidelity, whether they've used the information that they've received from the What Works Clearinghouse in the way that it was presented within their application. The What Works Clearinghouse is an important resource for us because it's not just about school improvement. It cuts across every office within the agency. We all work to support schools on a daily basis, and it's incumbent upon us to provide tools to those schools and districts that will benefit them as they go about trying to improve outcomes for all students.
The WWC is proud to be a trusted source of high-quality research on education activities, strategies, and interventions for educators, administrators, and policymakers. On our website, you can find information about the ESSA tiers of evidence, along with videos to help you identify ESSA evidence ratings and find studies in settings similar to your own. For more information, please visit us at whatworks.ed.gov.